Thank you so much for joining me this morning, Gayle. It's a pleasure to speak to you.
No, I thank you for coming. I got up this morning and said, today is Haley Day at CBS this morning. See how excited the crew is?
We're
excited because Haley's here. Round of applause, guys, for Haley.
Thank you.
All right, Haley. See, I told you. We liked you were coming.
Thank you. So you've covered a lot of stories, including some very tough moments like the Sandy Hook shooting.
Yes.
And I can imagine
the hardest story, yes.
You've reported on many other taxing and emotional stories.
Mm-hmm.
What keeps you so dedicated to shedding light on such tough times in our society?
Well, I'll tell you this, Haley, I'm a news junkie. If you came to my apartment today, I have a TV in every single room of my house, including the bathroom. The first thing I do is turn on the television, because I just love the news. I feel an awesome responsibility and privilege, really, to sit at this table and deliver the news, to let people know what's happening in the world. I love the morning news in particular, because you can go to bed one way and you wake up and your world has totally changed. So it's something that matters to me and I'm very, very interested in. But I'm also a human being. You know, there are stories like the Sandy Hook shooting that you mentioned. That was one of the, and I'm from Connecticut. I lived in Connecticut and worked in Connecticut for 18 years, so I know that community very, very well. So when you have stories like that, when you have tragic things that happen, when you have shootings like that seem to happen, unfortunately, on a regular basis, you can't help but be affected by it. But I'm also driven by the fact that, you know, I want to report the news and let you know what's happening in the world.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
My school's namesake, the great Texas Governor Ann Richards,
love her.
left behind an amazing legacy when she created an all-girls leadership and college preparatory school. Looking into the future, what do you hope to leave behind as your own legacy one day?
Oh, I actually got to meet Ann Richards once back in the day, so I know what an inspiring person she is. I think that, you know, people have opened the door for me, and I think that now I'm opening the door for others. But I always want people to be uniquely themselves. And I want, if they draw some inspiration from the job that I do, I'm very flattered by that. Because I still, after all these years of doing what I do, I still love it so much.
You're pretty well known for having quite an iconic friendship.
Who is that?
Miss Oprah. Miss
Me
Gayle.
and Beyonce?
Yeah.
Me and Beyonce, yeah, she's great. Did you see her at Coachella?
I did.
She was amazing. Yes, Oprah and I have been friends for a long time, since we were 21 and 22.
Wow.
And now we're 63 and 64. Guess who's older? Careful, Haley. Careful.
You're younger, of course.
Yes. Haley's smart on the fly. We like a smart girl. Yes, so we're 63. We were born in the same year, 1954, but she was born in January and I was born in December. But we've been friends a long time. But what about her?
Why do you think that your friendship has lasted for so long?
Because I knew her before she was Oprah Winfrey in capital letters and flashing lights, number one. Because I think when you reach the status that she has and the stature that she has, we talk about this, it's really hard to meet new friends. It's very hard because inevitably you think you have a friend, you really like them, and then they say, oh, I have a book, could you pass it to Oprah? Or I have a movie script, could I give it to you? So it's very hard, I think, when you reach a certain place in life to meet new friends. So I knew her before she was, you know, that. And I think that we are both very like-minded people. In terms of our views about life, our philosophies about life. And I think that we are both brutally honest with each other. You know, a good friend always tells you the truth, even when it's a truth you don't want to hear. A good friend doesn't judge you and supports you. And she knows that, and I feel this about her too, for myself, that she is my biggest cheerleader and I'm hers. And I never, you know, it's so funny because people will say to me, oh, it must be so hard for you to be Oprah's best friend. It must be so difficult. And I say, Haley, no, it ain't. It's actually really great being her best friend. And I've said this many times because I see myself not standing in her shadow. I see myself standing in her light. And maybe if I thought that I could do what she did, that I could do what she does, maybe that would be hard. But I think there's only one her. And I've never tried to compete with that or do that. So I think our friendship endures because we totally trust each other, we totally love each other, and we know that we have each other's back at all times.
So what advice would you give to a bunch of young women when they take their first steps into the real world and start to chase their dreams?
Well, I just think it's important to try all sorts of new things. You know, you guys are living in an age, you know, back in the day, people would get a job and they'd stay with it for 20, 30, 40 years. And now you have so many things open to you. And so I would use college as a base of learning and trying different things to find out what you like, and more importantly, to find out what you don't like.
Well, thank you so much, Gayle, for taking the time to speak with me today.
Thank you so much for flying in. That's so nice. I hope you're going to do something fun.
We're planning
after
on
this. Although, can it get better than this, Haley?
Highlight
I don't know.
of my day.
No, I'm teasing.
No, thank you so much.
There is lots to do in New York City. This will be a blip on your radar screen by the time you're done. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you. It was
I'm
a
very
pleasure
glad
talking
you
to
came.
you.